In case of the Nano project, the Tata Motors offered most of the stuff, if I'm not incorrect. Have you done any study, like what are the things they offered and what are the things they did not, or were they adequate in terms of, in these two issues, rehabilitation?
Did you know that the people in Shingur thought that the Tatas were going to put up a chemical plant there? Okay. So that really is the nub of the issue.
So this is a misinformation campaign?
There is, yes, to one extent, that I'm not sure that we have communicated to the people affected what the project is about, how it is going to improve their quality of life if they desire, so that they can make up a choice based on, an informed choice on whether they should actually part with their land.
So are you saying that there were enough the company was willing to do, but they could not communicate it?
They did not communicate it.
Maybe one could step in here.
Yeah.
See, the way the Tatas were going about this was to tell the government to acquire the land, right? So essentially when we say communicate, who does the communication? Who is acquiring the land? And the contrast here is if you look at the Jindal plant at Salboni, where the Jindals were communicating directly and they have been able to acquire the land. So at some level, one of the things the report talks about is this concept of a social consent to operate. One is a regular consent, but in addition you need consent from the people involved, including the people that you have to rehabilitate.
Look at this Thanks, Runa is one of the editors of the report. I'll come to that. We'll come to that, the nitty-gritty part of it.
The compensation administration there, just building on it. So Jindal directly, they had 6 lakh compensation per acre.
Right.
So 3 lakh they said that okay, you have a long-term fixed deposit. 1.5 lakh they gave cash immediately. Another 1.5 lakh they put it in the equity.
So this Tata Motor and JSW Steel are two studies in contrast. How you rehabilitate people and how you communicate.
Yes, but the question is, the key question is, whose responsibility is R&R?
Whose responsibility is this?
Firstly, in the moment a private interest is involved, where government is seen to be acquiring land, there is going to be inbuilt skepticism about those who are affected.
Correct.
Second, when the instrumentality of whatever processes have to follow, including compensation and R&R, are with the government, and whose track records is well known as far as those from whom the land is being acquired, that further enhances. Then there are a third set of people, those whose properties are not affected, but those whose livelihoods are affected. And if there is no overture, no communication, no effort by the land acquirer, that their concerns are mitigated, the context is ripe for politicization. If you're saying that there are too many losers from this particular situation and there are very few gainers, then obviously that is a political opportunity for anybody to come in.
There is a school of thought that this Indian revolution in the field of ECZ is actually nothing but a land grabbing exercise, right? And so again the politicization of part. I don't think your report has spoken about ECZ and the politicization. Why don't you tell us what exactly happening on that front?
Is that a special economic zone really needs to be a large area of contiguous land. It can't be just very small tracts of land enough for 3-4 buildings. I mean, it has to be enough. So it's almost like creating an industrial corridor, right? That's really the real potential value of a special economic zone. What has happened in our country is that starting with that concept, by the time you got to the legislation, you have completely distorted the notion of this special economic zone. So along the way, because of the intervention of a lot of vested interests, etc., what you have created is a legislation that allows for technically the creation of special economic zones that have nothing to do with the original concept of it. Hence the allegations or the suggestions that, this is just a scheme either to avoid taxes, because one of the benefits, fiscal benefits associated with getting that status is a whole bunch of tax exemption, or that it is a land grab because you basically effectively change land use and hence enhance land value.
Which one you think is actual? Which allegation is closer to truth?
I think the allegation that the legislation has been completely distorted to undermine the original noble purpose of the initiative is the correct interpretation. So I don't think I'm a particular fan of the existing legislation.
Bimal, I think you wanted to say something on this?
No. I'm just agreeing with what he was saying. So
you agree or disagree?
I was agreeing with what he was saying.
Okay.
Both these things are at work in dilution of the noble purpose, as you said.
Right.